this is Paige from Pruett's Pool and Spa, and this is Ask the Experts. Today I'm going to speak about different types of algae and what you can do to prevent it and kill it. So generally there are three different types of algae. There is the common green algae, there's black algae, and there's mustard algae. Common green algae is green in appearance, obviously. It usually is slimy and grows on walls of the pools and on floors, sometimes in the equipment. In order to kill green algae, you can use a killing algicide, but most of all, and especially with all three types of algae, chlorine is the best killer. Usually algicide is the best preventative. So I ask most of my customers when they have green algae, are you keeping chlorine in your pool? Are you using a preventative algicide? And a lot of time they're not. They've missed a step here or there. So what you need to do is get your chlorine up to 10 parts per million or above to shock the pool, and use a killing algicide like Banish or let's say Backup to help rid your pool of algae and maintain the chlorine level and the balance. The pH is very important as well. Second type of algae is mustard algae. And like the name implies, it starts out as yellow. It starts out actually as a dust on the bottom of your pool floor. A lot of people mistake it as dirt road dust or, just something that's flew into the pool. But what happens is you vacuum it up and then an hour later it's back. That's usually indicative of mustard algae. And then eventually it makes the water green, but the walls aren't slimy. The water's green, the walls aren't slimy, so it's not green algae. Unfortunately, that's one of the tougher algae to kill because once it infects your pool, it infects everything that comes in contact with your pool, including your towels and your bathing suits. So what you need to do in that case to kill mustard algae, again, is to maintain your chlorine at 10 part per million, but you need to do that for 3 consecutive days in a row, and don't let that drop. And then use a killing algae after that. So also everything that's come in contact with the pool, you need to put in the pool during this process to rid the algae from those items. Also, it can grow in water hoses. So we ask people to get a new water hose and make sure to hang it up to dry it out before they refill their pool again. Then the last type of algae is black algae. Black algae is more like a weed than the other two types of algae. It tends to grow in concrete pools, very rarely fiberglass and vinyl lined pools. That is because it has to have a grip on something to live. So it will grow into concrete crevices, into the holes in the concrete, and there it will thrive. And unfortunately, this type of algae can grow even if there's chlorine in the pool. So in order to rid your pool of black algae, you have to be very diligent. You have to keep your chlorine above 10 part per million for several days. And what we tend to do is take a chlorine tablet, and each one of those black spots in the bottom of the pool, you need to rub that tablet across those black spots and use a metal brush every day until you see a cessation in the black algae. And then at that point, to keep it from growing any further and to keep it down, you have to maintain your chlorine higher than normal for the rest of the season, which would be 3 to 5 parts per million. And if you don't do that, it'll come right back. Sometimes, in worst case scenarios, you have to sandblast the pool and get rid of all the surface material, be that plaster or paint, and then repaint or replaster the pool. And that can become very expensive. So that's our lesson for today. Any questions, call us at the office at 417-257-POOL or bring in a water test for us to test your water and help you get rid of that algae.